Welcome back, racers, to more FIA. God, am I going to get tired of saying that? I don't think I am, because I am loving it so much, and we're only one round in. Yes, round two, but for us, one round in. Today's races, we are looking at Mitsubishi in our Brazilian account in Central and Southern America, and then we will be looking at, you guessed it, Dodge in America, making that Dodge great again. So I did do the 20 past midnight slot for the for the Dodge manufacturer's race, but for this race here I actually did the 5:40 slot. So obviously I am in England, so the time difference makes it very challenging to do these races. So after the Dodge race I went to sleep, and then I woke up a couple of hours later ready for this race. I thought I was actually going to be really slow, really off pace, blah blah blah, but actually we weren't too bad. I sort of rolled out of bed, wiped the sleep from my eyes, and just got on with it really. I'd raced it so much the day before, technically the day before, it just sort of came naturally, and I sort of just knew what to do and went about my thing. So as I've been talking, we've been going around doing our qualifying lap, and it's not too bad. We did a banker of a 1:32.5. If we get anywhere near 1:32 dead, I think that's an extremely good lap for us. I think I could do a 1:31.2, I think it was my fastest time ever, and that was without tyre wear, without fuel, without anything, so time trial kind of things. And we just take first position by 300ths of a second, nearly 400ths of a second. Very, very close, but that puts us on pole in the Mixie. Jev Carnival leading the way. Here we go. Now, over the last couple of videos, I have talked about strategies and how they affect the race. This race in particular is fantastic. We changed the strategy up. Every other race that I've done so far, I've gone medium, medium, hard. In this race, we switch it up and go medium, hard, medium. Will it work out though? You will have to find out later on in this race. So, first couple of laps, you always want to be consistent, and we were consistent. First couple of corners were a bit dodgy, got a bit slidey. Managed to settle down, managed to gap about 2 seconds to the racer from Ecuador as we come into the pits. Now this is where our strategy changes. Usually I would go back onto the medium tyre and have a good fast middle stint. For some reason, I can't remember why, maybe we talked about it in Discord, but I put on the hard tyre so I would finish the race on the mediums, on that faster set of tyres. Nothing really happens until lap 9, where the elite player in the Mercedes makes a move up the inside, and I just sort of let him go. We've done that a couple of times over the last couple of races, been smart about choosing our battles. So in my head I thought he could pull us along a little bit. He's obviously on the faster tyre, on that medium tyre, so he could use that slipstream just a little bit to get us a little bit more time on the laps that we are behind him. Lap 12 though, he goes into the pits, and he is the one who we are going to be battling with to the end of the race. So he went in with 17 fuel, and we are currently on 9%. So that is a big difference indeed, and we have one more lap to go. He's going to fill up, and he's going to go to 39 on the fuel and go onto the hard tyres. And I remembered saying to myself, 39 seems like an awfully low number, especially when we have 7 laps left to go. But anyway, he is now on the hard tyre. We are finishing out our stint on our hard tyres. Nearly went over and picked the hard tyre once again because I was in the routine of doing that. But luckily I switched back just in time, and we have to fill up the whole way. So looking at our percentages there, we are already at, well, we filled up, what were we, 51% there. And he filled up the lap before and only went to 39 or 38. So will he have enough fuel to last him till the end of the race? But anyway, the hunt has truly begun. What is the gap? The gap will be around 5 seconds. We have 5 seconds to gain on him. Remember, we are on the medium tyre, we are on the faster tyre, and he is on that hard compound. As we come across the line then, it is 4 seconds. A lap later, it is 2.3 seconds. The next lap, it is down under a second, and we are firmly in that suck zone and we are gaining fast. So at this point we have to be smart. We don't have to be going and rushing in and overtaking him right at that first moment. We can choose where we want to overtake. He is now on worn hard tyres, and we are now on slightly worn medium. He goes over to the left there trying to shake our slipstream, but that's not going to be enough. Later on the brakes than he is, we close that gap up really nicely, and as we come out in the acceleration zone, he's just going to pull over to the right. Obviously, I wanted that battle. I wanted a really good battle for the last 2 laps, and for some reason, he has just let me by. And it's not until this moment crossing the line that he actually has to go into the pits. He miscalculated his fuel input at his pit stop. What an absolutely rookie error. And I think we would have had a really good battle at the end if he had put in the right amount of fuel. But there we go, a victory. And I know, I said it in the VW video about we don't get to do this often, but we are still in a BS lobby, so we should be winning these really. And you know what? We did. Once again, just like the other video, we can only beat what is put in front of us, and we did it in this Mixie. And with this victory and those 900 points, that puts us in the top 5 of Mitsubishi in this region, so that is 4 out of 4 on target for the SS Global Challenge. Will we be successful in the Dodge? Here we go then, the Dodge Viper. Now, if you are paying attention to the overall leaderboards right now, you will notice that Hizal is leading the EMEA with the Dodge Viper, which is, you know, unheard of for the Dodge manufacturer, but he is doing it. He has well, he's just an alien, isn't he? He's just an alien. Shout out to Mikhail. Shout out, bloody alien. Anyway, we are in a very competitive lobby here, probably the most competitive lobby out of all 5 races, and we are in the car which I struggle with the most. I actually finished 15 seconds slower than all 4 of the other manufacturers. 15 seconds, and when you look at the end times of this race, that 15 seconds makes a lot of difference. And I will say as well, just briefly as we come over to set our fastest lap time, this lobby was really nice. The chat beforehand in the lobby was really nice. A lot of people were saying hello and stuff like that. Really bloody nice. Well done, America. Well done. But the niceties put aside, we find ourselves in 7th position. Number 12 on our door as well, so we're actually doing better than expected. But how can we do in the race? So obviously this is a little bit different for us as we have multiple cars in front of us, so we might have to change the way that we drive just that little bit. I'm going to try and sit behind these guys and try and save as much fuel as possible. That might be why our end time was so slow, as we were sitting behind other players quite a bit as they sort of, well, driving slower than what we have usually been doing in the other races. But anyway, I saw this as an opportunity to save more fuel and therefore spend less time in the pit stop and obviously more time on the track racing towards the finish line. Passed again, just has a little bit of a wiggle there, and the Aston Martin Luis in front making a big old glitch, and he does that a couple of times. Oh, there we go, there he is again. That is very off-putting and very disconcerting, as we would think that we would want to overtake him at some point. Also, if you're looking at the fuel mixture on the bottom right in this tight technical section, I do drop it down to 2 and then click it back up when we come out of the tight technical section onto those straights where we need that acceleration to stay in the slipstream of the cars in front. Up ahead, Luis is doing his fun glitchy thing, and that might put off. Passed again in the Nissan. The Aston Martin runs a little bit wide out of the final corner, and that slows him down on the back straight. That Nissan is an absolute fiend and a monster in a straight line. So is the Aston, but that Nissan does have that slipstream. So do we. So we decide that we want to just fuel save a little bit coming into this corner. I don't really want to get involved with those guys going too wide into T1. Especially if it's with someone who is looking a little bit glitchy. But as first laps go, it's not bad. We haven't lost any positions and we're still in touching distance of the cars in front. The top three have pulled away a little bit, but they were quite a way ahead of me in the qualifying, so I'd expect them to just run away with it. As we come into this turn though, the Aston Martin goes for a move, there is contact, and that's going to give us the opportunity to get a good run out of that corner. We go up the inside of past again, the Aston Martin disappears and then reappears again, having a massive glitch there, and we just have to let past again up the inside. And this is how it stays until lap 4. Coming into this corner then, the Lamborghini there, Cloudy Racing, is just going to get a right old spin on, which promotes us to 6th position. But this tight right-hander, we're just going to run a little bit wide on these tyres. I did find it very difficult to keep the pace, to keep consistent when the tyres started to go off in the Dodge. I don't know why the understeer felt so more pronounced in this car than maybe some of the other ones, but we have to deal with it. We have to deal with the Dodge, so let's get on with it. Pitting in our regular slot, going from medium to finish on the hard tyre. Let's go. What are we going to be able to do? We come out in 9th position, just in front of glitchy boy Luis there, and it takes us a lap, but we do catch up with the cars in front. And as we come through this corner here, we just see how much they are struggling with their tyre wear. Just up the inside, nice and aggressive move there, up to 7th place, and we go about closing that gap to that pinky purple Mercedes in front of us. Now, this is a very tight technical section and we do have the better tyres, so we've got to be careful about where we choose to pass him. Obviously, you can tell with the acceleration, I can't go full speed through here because we would just keep tapping him in the back, and we all know how that turns out. So once again, I'm trying to be smarter with my overtakes, just trying to choose a position where I can go past him nice and safely. Obviously, I'm way off the power there. Am I going to go for a move up the inside here? No. I'm just going to wait. I'm going to get a better run out of the corner. I have the better tyres, therefore the better acceleration, therefore the better drive out of the final corner and on to the start-finish straight. We do have Luis behind us as well, so he is going to be in the slipstream and attacking us into T1. I know he's feeling aggressive. I can kind of get that impression from him, so I'm just going to brake a little bit early. I'm just going to let him go around me. And once again, like I said in another video, picking our battles over the race may save us time further down the line. I nearly kill him and poo myself just a little bit a lap later, but he does get away from us quite a bit. And by the time we come around on the start-finish straight for the next lap, the start of 11, the leader is coming through, and there's no point in me fighting him. It's just going to ruin my race. It might ruin his race as well. More importantly, so just going to let him past. He flashes his lights, all is good and fair in the world, and we carry on. And hopefully as well, you know, that little bit of slipstream can help us be pulled along, so we save some time as well. So we come into the pits on lap 12. I was just really struggling with those medium tyres with the wear, so I thought I'm going to pit in a lap earlier and I'm going to do 7 laps on the hard tyre to finish out the race. We actually overfueled just a little bit, and if we didn't overfuel, we would have ended up in front of these two going into this corner. We also receive a little tap in the butt there from the Canadian behind, but that is it. Fine margins. If we had refueled properly, we would have been out in front of these two, and we wouldn't have to worry about trying to battle past them over the next couple of laps. Start finish straight then, and we're behind past again in the Nissan. The Nissan in front of that is going to dip into the pits, and we are going to have to see about going past again into T1. In the slipstream, we're going to move to the inside. He's going to give us the space. A perfectly executed maneuver, but he still turns in and gives us a tap. We are here. Hello. Hello. Have a little look out your window. There we go. We are in, and because we're on the better tyres, we're just going to gap him a little bit. There is Luis coming out of the pits, and for the eagle eyes of you who are really paying attention, you would have seen him put on another set of medium tyres. He, I would say, roughly goes into me there, trying to make that move stick, but somehow we're going to keep the momentum around the outside and up into the inside of this corner as well. But back to the tyres, that is now his 3rd set of medium tyres, so no hard compound used, he is going to get a 20-second penalty at the end of the race. I didn't realise this at the time, I only noticed at the end of the race, but we managed to hold him off until lap 16, and because I was narrow there, I just went a little bit deep, and because he has those medium tyres, he can just pull away from me. And coming into the right-hander there, not like the time before, he just manages to hold it around the outside. So as you would expect, he does just run away on those fresh mediums, and by the time we come onto lap 19, we have the AMG of Super GTR King rightly behind us, and he is putting on a lot of pressure. Once again, really struggling with the grip, the understeer that this Dodge is giving me. I think on average I was a second a lap quicker, or around about that, over each lap throughout the race in comparison to the other cars. Into this left hand corner I just didn't go in it confidently. That's kind of what happens when you drive with these worn tyres. You just don't feel like you can push into those corners like you would usually do. And that is the Mercedes up in front of us. Can we do anything about it though? Coming into this tight technical section, we are pretty fast coming through here, so can we do anything about closing up that gap? If we can be really close to him coming through the final corner, maybe we can have enough slipstream to get past him by the time we get over the start finish line. So right now we are around 7/10 it says there, and that is not close enough. You see him just pulling away around this left-hand corner. Really struggle with that corner in every single car. Last corner then, he is going to go a little bit deep and get a little bit of a slide on, but we don't get the exit we need if we didn't run wide there. And maybe, just maybe, we could have caught him by the line, but it's just not going to be enough. But we are going to come across the line in 6th position, and because Luis did an oopsie and finished with no use of hard tyres, he gets a 20-second penalty. Look at that dude, 20 seconds. What an idiot. But we will take 5th position and run away with it, as that does give us nearly 1,400 points, which puts us in 6th position overall in the manufacturers. So that is 5 of 5 manufacturers which are on target for our Global SS Challenge. But how will we fare in the Group 4 around Fuji in round 3? Thank you so much for watching, liking and subscribing. Thank you to the channel members, and we'll see you in the next one.